Good evening, everybody. As always, it's Wednesday, and we're here to hang out, talk about some video games, or whatever you guys really want to talk about. I've had a pretty good day today so far. Oh, hold on. We got to interrupt the intro because we have an update from Jonathan. It says, Dustin and Chet, I have very important news and I need your advice. And I can report back with the Woo Boy Hot Chicken update from last week. Double audio. Fixed? It's because my stream was up in the other thing. I think we're good now. I'm sorry. Amateur hour over here. I have to pull up the stream window in order to connect stuff, if that makes sense, to connect the chat thing, and so I accidentally had it open. So let's restart. Hello, everybody. It's Wednesday. Sorry about the issues. Hopefully everyone's having a good evening. We were catching up with Jonathan, who said he got the Woo Boy Hot Chicken. We need the update. Give us that update, King. While we wait for that update, today's been a pretty good day for me. I went to see the Mario Galaxy movie. Now, originally I was planning on seeing it next week, but then I thought, I have a day open. I have the afternoon open. Let's just go make this happen. Let's just go see it now. So I did. We can talk all about that, but how's everybody in the chat doing this evening? Are we doing okay? We will talk about the movie. Let's get all of our niceties out of the way first. We can talk about that for as long as we want, really. Okay. We have an update on the Woo Boy. So on the Woo Boy, very, very good chicken, actually right across the road from the architect I work with. One of the best meals I had when I was out there. Got the sando with some choy fries. Nice. The sando with the comeback sauce. Very good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you liked it. Okay, this is very relevant. Dustin, I've decided to abandon Chipotle in Butler. It's gotten too bad. From now on, I will go to Hotheads in Union. I want to bring up Chipotle. I got a problem. So I was running out of time, and because we saw the movie, we didn't go get groceries like we were, because we were, seeing the movie. We didn't go get groceries. So I was like, I got to go get some food. So I got Chipotle. And listen, I've had good Chipotle experiences recently, and I've had a good. I've been like happier with them, but here's the thing, guys. I'm done using the Chipotle, and I'm done using the app, because you sure as shit, if you use the Chipotle app and the Chipotle, you're getting less food. Period. I think we can lock that in as 100% truth. Maybe not 100% truth, but a likely truth. It's pissing me off. It is absolutely pissing me off. So anyway, that's my rant. What else is going on? My thoughts on the new Scrub season. I watched 3 episodes, and I'm kind of like, it's fine. I need to catch up, though. Okay, we have another update here, but the second news is that I need advice. I finally booked my trip to Japan for later this year. Any chance you have an email I can reach out for you for tips from your trip? My email is in my bio on Twitter or on the bio of this channel. And if you email me, I can send you my Japan guide. The Dustin's Guide to Japan. What movie did I see? It was the Mario Galaxy movie, and we will talk about it. Dustin, are you reviewing a game? I see you hit your trophy list. I'm not reviewing a game, but I did do that intentionally. I need to go unhide it. I was checking out a game a little bit early, and I think it's fine for me to say it because it's out now. I was checking out Roller Coaster Tycoon for PlayStation 5, which is out now. Friend of the show, Jason, hooked me up. So I was checking that out before it was announced. And I can tell you guys, it's pretty good. It's not the optimal way to play it. Like, PC is always going to be the optimal place to play it. But I was surprised by the controls on surprised by the controls on the controller. Using the controller to play the game, it's probably not it's not the best way to play it, but I was surprised by it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty neat for people to check out. Roller Coaster Tycoon. It's the mobile version that they then ported to Switch, and now it's ported to PS5 and Xbox. So, remaster or classic graphics. It is the classic graphics, but they went and it's like I said, it's the mobile version. They went and like updated the UI and stuff like that. So yeah, that's out on PS5. Again, it gets a recommendation from me if that's your only way to play it, but I would still recommend the PC version with OpenRCT. That's the prime way to do it. We have a few super chats to get into, but before we do that, this is still the opening of the show. You guys know, I get to do my one plug of the show. So let's begin. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. It's good to see so many of you here with how many? 85 people and counting. Thank you. It feels nice. Feels good to have people hanging out. So thank you guys so much for being here. If you like my channel, maybe this is your first time watching, welcome. And if you enjoy, make sure to subscribe. It doesn't cost any money and it helps me out. You'll get notified about my videos. They'll show up in your feed. So go ahead, hit the subscribe button. The other plug is that I do have super chats open. If you want to do that for an automatic, for sure, we'll talk about whatever you super chat. And I have channel memberships, which is a little extra way to support the channel. And you can see awesome Tatum here showing off some of the emotes that you can use if you become a member of the channel. So that's it. That's the plugs. Let's get into a few of these super chats. We got two right now from Flying. One of them from Flying G says, just got a decent I can't talk right now. Just got a decent pay raise. Switch 2 or Steam Deck. It's so dependent. If you want to play Nintendo games and you like Nintendo games, get the Switch 2. If you don't care about Nintendo games, get the Steam Deck. Steam Deck certainly is a more versatile machine where you can do whatever you want with it. You could work off a Steam Deck if you want. You could use it as an emulation device, play obviously your Steam games on it. You can dock it, use it as a PlayStation Portal. It's certainly the better value, but if you want Nintendo games, you're gonna have to get the Switch 2. So the other thing I would say is Switch 2 is going to go up in price. Lock that in. So keep that in mind. Thank you, Flying G, for that. And Andy Cap says, hi, Dustin. Hope you're doing well. I am doing well. Thank you, Andy. I'm doing very well. Just a, pretty relaxing Wednesday for me. Like I said earlier, I went to see the Mario Galaxy movie, which we can talk about. I had Chipotle, and it was too small and a little disappointing, but it still tasted great. It was just a little too small. I'm drinking a DC, so that's good. And let's see, what else is going on here? Oh, why are we hitting on Marathon today? Okay, so I forgot the name of the stream is Please Hate Marathon. And that is something I do want to talk about extensively. Is this whole situation with Marathon, just because I knew what happened, but I've experienced it firsthand. The hate brigade against Marathon. So which one do you guys want to talk about, Mario first, or do you want to talk about Marathon, the Battle of the M's? It's up to you guys. It is in your hands. Someone mentioned the LSM Cryo stream. Yes, that is happening this Friday. What's my favorite video game movie adaptation? I honestly don't even know. I really don't care about them that much. Let's talk about Mario first, because I'm seeing some people get Mario out of the way. I don't have a lot to say on Mario, and there will be no spoilers. I'm not going to talk about any of the Easter eggs in this movie or anything. I'm not going to say anything crazy about it. Dustin, I lived in Butler for 10 years and never once ran into you in the wild. That's crazy. I am out and about quite a bit. I'm not like Colin. I am leaving my house, going downtown, going to Target, you know. So Mario movie. I went with Holly, and I was telling her that all I expect from this, I have very low expectations. I had low expectations before the reviews came out, where I'm like, dude, the Mario movie to me is basically the equivalent of jingling keys in front of my face. And I'm okay with that. I just want it to be fun, and, you know, I want to be the soy face happy because I recognize that thing. Marvel fans know this well. Star Wars fans probably know it better than them. That's all they care about, is they say, oh, I recognize that. I know him. This is my version of that, is this Mario movie. The Mario Galaxy movie is perfectly adequate. It is just adequate. My main takeaway, again, no spoilers. I'm telling you guys, there's no spoilers for this. I'm not going to tell you anything about the movie. Just telling you my thoughts. After the movie was done, I was thinking, it's not worse than the first movie. In fact, I think some of the things they did better. I think one of the main things they heard, I would assume that they heard the criticism, the feedback that people didn't like the modern music in the first movie, myself included. There is almost zero modern music in this movie. There is one example, and it is brief. And that's fine. They used a lot more of the Mario music that you know and love. It's not like 10 out of 10, but it's in terms of music and what they did. So back to what I was saying. It's not worse than the first movie. But the novelty is gone. The novelty of a Mario movie in theaters that isn't like super weird or like trying to do stuff with the IP that it shouldn't. So that novelty factor is gone. And there are a few different moments where you're like, wow, that's really cool they did that. That's really cute. That's neat. As a fan of Nintendo, I like that. I like seeing that, right? I think the biggest thing, if you're watching this stream, it means you're on the internet. So you know that they showed the Fox McCloud poster. I have no fucking idea why they did that. I think people would be losing their shit right now. Because Fox is probably one of the coolest parts of the movie. So, the one criticism, a lot of criticism that I've seen about the movie is that it is like brain rot. And I kind of get it in that there's like, the movie is like a breakneck speed. Where it's like you're not lingering in one place or in one situation for very long. Let's see, I wish it wasn't in the poster. I'm assuming he has a poster. He's a significant portion. Dude, last week, it was all over Twitter. I think they would rather spoil it than the internet do it. I guess that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. All I know is that I would have been like, oh shit. The other thing about this movie that I was thinking about is that it is a kids movie. Mario is for kids, and it appeals to adults. The games, the character, right? We grew up with Mario. We love Mario. Mario games are fun for kids and adults. The movie is for kids. The humor in the movie is for kids. And I understand people saying, well, there's lots of kids movies that I like that appeal to both kids and adults. And that's true. But I think that overall, that's not the norm for kids movies. That's not the norm for kids movies. Pixar probably does a better job than most. And it sucks that it has to be Illumination, because I think they are the worst offender of, like, you know, kids humor, whatever. You know, there's a part in the most recent trailer. This really is not a spoiler because it's a dumb joke. It has two toads slapping each other, and then they're like, whoa, stop. And then he, like, gets in one more slap. And it's like, haha, very funny. There are parts of this movie that did make me laugh, but I don't think they were supposed to. And I wasn't laughing because it was bad. I was laughing at the weirdness of the situation. So I'll end with this on the Mario movie. If you like Mario, you're going to be so curious you're going to go see it. And you're not going to have a bad time, certainly. But they're not shaking up the formula, really. This isn't really any kind of evolution of the last movie. Your kids are going to fucking love it. There was one other group in the theater. It was like a mom or an aunt or a grandma, I don't know, and two younger boys in elementary school. They were having the time of their life. Mario showed up on screen. The kid goes like this, Mario. They weren't too loud, but he was pumped to see Mario. They were laughing. They loved it. And I was like, you know what? That's good. I'm happy. They're going to remember the day that they saw the Mario movie with their family members for the rest of their life. And that's awesome. How happy would we have been if this came out when we were 10? Absolutely. I was thinking about that. So, the Mario movie isn't great. It's not bad. It's not... I guess the disappointment as an adult is that I want more and I want an evolution. But it's okay. It's not for me. It's for those kids in the theater that were having a good time. So there you go. That's the Mario movie. I thought about making a video about it, but I just was like, man, I really don't. I mean, I guess I've been talking for the last 10 minutes, but you know, it is what it is. We have a super chat, real quick, from Tanner Prussia, who says, "Hey Dustin, from a little town called Cambridge Springs, PA by Erie. Love your content and marathon." Erie, I haven't been to Erie in quite a while. I used to go to Erie all the time to go to concerts. One of my favorite bands in high school was a band from Erie called War of Ages. And so we would go to, I think the venue there was called Forward Hall. And we'd have a great time going there. So I'd love to go to Erie again soon. Last time I was there was for like a little boys trip, but that was probably 5 years ago at this point. Are we thinking new 3D Mario next year? Yeah, probably. I would think so. Hello, Dustin. Are you an anime only for One Piece? Are you happy it's going to be seasonal? I'm not anime only. I'm totally caught up on manga. I prefer the anime to the manga. I know that's a hot take. So do we want to talk about Marathon? I guess I should bring up my tweet that spawned this conversation. I don't want my streams to just become like reacting to responses from my tweet, because I've already done that once before a few weeks ago. But I feel like it's a good way for me to to spurn the conversation on. And this is a great question from Ash R. Dustin, what did you buy with your marathon shill money? Well, I have a new Tesla Cybertruck in the front right now. Let's talk about what brought on this conversation. But I got to pull it up. Jamie, pull that up. I am my own Jamie in this situation, unfortunately. Okay, we got to bring up this. And we got to bring up this. We got to zoom in. Bear with me, folks. Also, side note, I totally forgot about the rocket launch. I totally forgot about it. Here we go. So this is the tweet that I made last night. Most of you here follow me, whether it's through Sacred or here on this YouTube channel, or you follow me on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, you know that I often make tweets like this about games that I'm playing, where whether it's if I just beat a game or I'm really excited about a new game or if I'm not into something, I make tweets like this, just talking about games, because I've realized over the years that like that's what people want me, not want me to talk about, but that's why people follow me, which is a great honor. So I talk about games. Here's what I said. I said, Marathon has totally hooked me. The deeper I get, the more impressed I am by the level of design and creativity Bungie managed to pull off. It's so much more than just first-person Arc Raiders, a game I also loved, but now I can't see going back to. So, Marathon. I'm loving Marathon, guys. Let me see how much time I have in Marathon. I have 39 hours in Marathon. And I'm loving it. If you go back and listen to the first Sacred Symbols post-marathon, I was saying that I wasn't sure about it. That I didn't know if I was going to like it, but I had a feeling that something was there. And that's true. That's true. Since then, I put a lot more time in. I understand the game a lot more. I've seen a lot more of what it has to offer. And there's really not much more to say than what I said in the tweet. The more I play this game, the more I'm like, wow, this game, the way it's designed, specifically in how it formats the game, is really cool. So, obviously, I know about the distaste by some in online spaces for Marathon. I know about the Steam player chart numbers. I do. And honestly, I don't really care. I mean, I do care to the degree that I wouldn't want the game to shut down because of how much I'm enjoying it. But I don't have any level of arrogance to think that a fucking tweet from me, of all people, is going to move the needle for this game. The only thing I really care about is letting people know that trust or care for my opinion on things to inform their own decisions about what they want to play, what I think. That's it. So, some of the tweets here, I responded to some just because I thought it was fun. You know, sometimes it's fun to get in the dirt with these people a little bit. Only if I can make fun of them. And I do. And this is the one I put in the thumbnail. What bill is this check paying? Post a screenshot of your time played. I thought this was really funny. This 21 minutes. Obviously, that's not true, but I was hoping that maybe someone would fall for it. What a clown. When you created this post, did you think anyone reading it would think it was genuine and authentic? The PlayStation check is wide open. Enjoy. Sometimes is not even about payments, but rather not closing doors. We got you, man. Good luck with Sony in the future. This one I was proud of. This one, a little explicit every time I see these paid/unpaid shills. And I told him that I appreciated the effort. The fact that he went and took the time to make the meme. You know, I respect that. But yeah, this list goes on and on. I see so many blue check marks literally hooked on Marathon, yet numbers keep dropping daily. The numbers of I can't talk today. The numbers of Marathon are dwindling. So you expected to log on at least 5 hours a day, every day for the foreseeable future. Chop, chop. Some people positive, saying that they're into it, like this guy here. Let's see, who else here? Here, I was a big hater. Now I'm completely sold on the game. Here's someone just posting the player numbers, which is fun, you know. Another one posting the player number. 3 in a row, a three-peat of the player numbers. Anyway, you guys get the point here. You guys get the point. You've been seeing this probably, if you're online, you know, the Marathon hate. It's honestly really, I'm curious what you guys think. I get the live service fatigue, and I particularly understand the negative feeling of live service from Sony. I get this idea where it's like, Sony was so arrogant with Concord that people want to punish them forever for that in terms of live service. And I totally understand too this idea where it's like, live service represents the modern, a lot of people's like the issue with modern gaming. A lot of live service games just view their players as a way to a wallet, shake more money out of them, right? I get that. I don't like a lot of those things either. So where is the core of the Marathon hate? Obviously, it's going to be a bunch of different things, but I was thinking about this and I'm like, okay, well, you know, I hate to put it in these terms, but I think everyone knows what I'm talking about, that like Bungie is a woke studio, therefore woke game. But I think everyone knows Marathon has like nothing in it that people could get annoyed with. Let's see, as a Destiny 2 player, I got burned by Bungie and it left a bad taste for me with Marathon. The unholy trinity of modern gaming: live service, games as a service, and always online. True? True. Here's a really good point too. Bungie doing a really bad job enticing me to spend money. That's the other really funny thing about Marathon, is that Marathon has a battle pass and it has cosmetics, a store where you can buy those cosmetics. And I've looked at them and I've never felt like, man, I need that. Some of them are cool, but to me, the game was built and designed not first as a microtransaction shop. Is that a good idea for their business? Probably not. But to me, spending $40, like, I actually feel like spending $40 on Marathon, the payment within the game is even less in your face, is less in your face than Helldivers 2. And I think Helldivers 2 is really fair. But that's the interesting thing, is that it's like, it's extreme and it's generous. I've unlocked a ton of shit in the game, included in the $40 purchase. Let's catch up with you guys. It's Concord. Concord was such a catastrophe shit bomb that Marathon got caught in its splash damage. I think there's some of that. Sony haters, live service haters, Destiny fans. I thought about dropping Marathon, but I'm going for the Platinum. I might drop it after the wipe. The time commitment is rough. I play many live service games. I want them to respect my time. That's interesting. I feel like for Marathon, like I can just kind of play it when I want to. I don't feel like the game is demanding that much time from me. Maybe I'm just not focused on endgame stuff yet, but like, I just kind of play it and have fun. I do have goals that I'm working towards, but I don't feel like it needs to be the only game I play in order to succeed at them. I personally just don't like the art style. To each their own. I think the art style in game, both in its menus and when you're actually playing, is awesome. I think it's great. Love Marathon, their cosmetics are ass. Cosmetics, yeah, they're not, I don't think they're ass, but they're not anything that's calling me to purchase them, which I'm not really the type of guy to even buy those things anyway. I will say Bungie and PlayStation didn't do a good job marketing this. There should have been a state of play explaining the game better. Maybe that's true. Maybe there is a marketing problem. I will say this, which I think is a good point. I think my point's a good point, is what I just said. I need help, guys. I need help today. I will say this. I think Marathon showing when it did. When we first saw gameplay of Marathon, go back, guys, and look at footage of the first gameplay of Marathon. It looks like ass. And I'm not saying about the gameplay, I'm saying the visuals of the game look bad. In fact, it is shocking. If you look at that early alpha gameplay to what released, it is insane that they were able to turn around the visuals of that game that quickly. They had to have been crunching on that shit or something. Because I went back and I looked at that footage. I was shocked. I thought about going back to rewatch that reveal. Seems night and day. Yes. So I think that's one negative thing. The time that they had the most eyes on Marathon looked like ass. I think that most people can agree to that. The first footage was so bad I ran across it for YouTube stuff and didn't realize how old some of the stuff until I looked. Yeah, it's insane. So it's unfortunate. The first time that people had eyes on it, they didn't like it. It looked bad. I thought the visuals didn't look very good then. Also, the people that played it were kind of on it. The server slam then comes out. That's when I first played it. And I think with the thing with Marathon, I don't think this is a Crimson Desert situation. I don't think you need to put 8 hours into Marathon in order to understand it and be into it. I think you need to put like 2 to 3 hours into Marathon in order to know enough to have a strat, know what you need to do, and get into it. And I think that with that server slam, it also, what else came out when that, it was Resident Evil. Resident Evil came out the same weekend, which is the best-selling game this year. And I know there's there's different communities for these games, but the crossover of that, I played Marathon Server Slam, I think one time that weekend because I was playing Resident Evil. I played the early alpha. It was not great. They really took the feedback to heart. It's amazing how much they changed in terms of the visuals. I don't know about the gameplay. I didn't watch it that closely. So, yeah, here's a good question. Do you think a single player campaign would have helped, especially with the Sony fan base that really hasn't supported the game? I don't know. Like, maybe, but it's one of those things where the game is something. It is an extraction shooter. It was designed to be an extraction shooter. And you could shoehorn and figure out a campaign that's, I don't know, something. But would it have helped? Yes, probably. But I think it also probably would have created new problems. Okay, here's another take. It's not that Marathon sucks. It's that it's an extraction shooter. I feel like these games have no long time life and will be dead within 6 months. It's boring. Boring game loop. I disagree with that. And I think a lot of people would disagree with that. You either are going to be like the game loop or you're not. That's true about literally every game. You either like it or you don't. Maybe there is some truth to what you're saying, though, because it is true that the numbers on Marathon are declining each week. And there is some degree of normalcy to that the most amount of players are going to be at launch. Then it's going to decline over the weeks. It's very rare that a game gets more after. Sure, there are examples of that. Recent examples, too. Crimson Desert. Peak player numbers went up. And more importantly, Arc Raiders went up. This is not having an Arc Raiders effect. What I find interesting, and this is anecdotal, right? I don't want to say everything's anecdotal, but I think it's worth bringing up in an opinion-based stream. What I find interesting is how many people of the sacred / people like you guys here, my audience, and the sacred audience, which is mostly one and the same. How many people saw Chris and I play it or heard Chris talk about it and then were like, that's not what I thought. I kind of want to check that out. I've seen so many comments. People were like, wow, I had a misunderstanding of this game or a misconception about this game. It's very interesting. I bought it after your stream. Okay, so here's an example right here. Again, anecdotal, but I think it's something. Tarkov has been going strong for over 10 years. It's a niche, dedicated player base. Yeah, I think that it's interesting because the problem is the Marathon for a different team and a different budget would be a huge success. Maybe not an Arc Raiders success, but a success nonetheless. But because it's Bungie, because it's Sony, it's like, I do think there is an inherent problem with the idea, with the project itself of Marathon, in that Bungie, I think that people agree overall that Bungie is one of the best in the biz in terms of first-person shooters. Whether it's Halo or Destiny and now Marathon. So I lost my train of thought. Let's go back to the chat. Maybe I'll catch it back up. Oh, okay. So the problem is, I remember my train of thought. Sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. So the problem is that they made an extraction shooter, and extraction shooters are niche. So they were never going to get those numbers. Arc Raiders, I thought that maybe it would be possible with the success of Arc Raiders, but Arc Raiders being so much more, I don't want to call Arc Raiders a casual game, but I will say it's casual friendly. Would you guys say that's fair? I think so. So to put that kind of budget into a more niche game, it's like this was kind of maybe going to be the results no matter what. Arc Raiders is casual, let's be real. Maybe to some degree. Dustin, Marathon's visual language is too niche. It's not visually appealing to the masses. That's it. That may be true. I don't know if that's true. I think that the visual language is so cool. Arc Raiders is a chat room with guns. People complain when you PvP. Yeah. The one of the most interesting things that Arc Raiders, this is what Brandon told me, is that wasn't it early on in Arc Raiders they would have missions or something that would like encourage you to kill other players, and they removed it. Like the game doesn't want to push you to PvP. Marathon is the exact opposite. Marathon is like, dude, we are always going to have this guy is going to give you quests to say go out, fuck someone's day up. My friend bought Marathon, and I still have only been able to get him off Arc Raiders a couple of times. Arc Raiders is by no means casual. Marathon just comes off as more hardcore. Yeah. The interesting thing is that I think Marathon is more hardcore than Arc Raiders, but I've seen a lot of people talk about how hardcore and unrelentingly brutal Marathon is. And I don't think I agree with that. I think that the gameplay it can be tough, but I don't know, any first-person shooter game can be tough. The stakes can be high, but I've never, like, I have, my vault, guys, is so full, and I have so many good weapons, and I use them, and I lose them, and I get them back. So, and the game is constantly giving me more weapons. So, like, the severity of how tough it is or how brutal it is only partially true to me. Marathon is casual compared to Tarkov. I believe that. I've never played Tarkov. The last map can only be played with 3 players, right? I don't think that's true. I think that when you do the last map, when you do cryo, I think there's 3 teams on the map. It's either 3 or 4 teams. So you're talking 9 players, 3 on your team. So there's 6 other players. It's true, Dustin. I don't know what you're referencing here. Do you think it should have been free to play? Get players in and then they'll get hooked on the gameplay. I think that maybe could have helped. But the problem is I don't think it would make very much money. I don't think, because no one wants, like, I don't think that the monetization is all that appealing. You can't go solo, no fill on cryo. Okay, yeah, no solos and cryos. That makes sense. So yeah, there's no 3-player map on Marathon. If it was free to play, it would have been review bombed. I'm a pharmacist who works with opioids and narcotics all day. Marathon is the most addictive substance known to man. Why haven't you played Tarkov? I bet people have the exact same things to say about Marathon that you think about Tarkov. I don't have any negative thoughts about Tarkov. Honestly, I don't have very many thoughts at all. My thought about Tarkov is that here's the difference. People who don't play Marathon think Marathon's too hardcore. Marathon players overall don't think it's too hardcore. People think Tarkov is hardcore, and Tarkov players think it's hardcore. So that's the thing that I'm like, I wouldn't be opposed to trying Tarkov. I just really don't think I would like it. Because there is the other extraction shooter that I've put a decent amount of time. Let me verify that. Hunt Showdown. How many hours do I have in Hunt? I have 7 hours in Hunt Showdown. Hunt Showdown, a little too hardcore for me. I also think that that Hunt Showdown is a little too slow for my liking. Guys, let's do some of these super chats. We've actually have quite a few. Thank you guys. And as I said earlier, if you want a super chat, helps me out, but not required. From Zach. How much time do you believe Sony will allow Bungie to ride with Marathon before they start pulling the plug? Sony is being cutthroat at cutting costs and shutting down things that won't work. Colin said this on Sacred Symbols, and I agree with him that I think Sony, I would hope Sony is smart enough, but who knows recently. I think Sony is smart enough to be like, okay, we have a really hardcore dedicated audience that really loves this game. And as of the last few days, it's reviewing very well. I would hope that Sony is smart enough to nurture this game and figure out a way to proceed that makes sense. I wonder, like, would it be a good idea to do... I could see two things that would be kind of interesting. Number one, doing some free weekends on Marathon. You know, you can hop in, play for the weekend, figure out if you like it. Maybe, I don't know if that would work because, you know, some people I think have already made up their mind. But the only time it's been a free weekend was when Resident Evil came out. Dude, you are so hung up about the aesthetics of the game, and I don't necessarily think that's the problem for most people. I think it's a problem for some people. The other thing that I could see them doing, though this only helps in the console side, which isn't really that much of a console game, is make it free for PlayStation Extra and Premium users. Give these marketing tips to your friend at Sony. If I'm a solo player, what could Bungie do to show me it's not too hardcore for me, especially now? I don't know, man. I think that it is a tough situation because I really don't think it's as hardcore as a lot of people think, but it is Bungie's job to convey that message. How do you do that? I don't know. PlayStation doesn't like doing things for their PlayStation Plus subscribers. Yeah, that's true. All right. Thank you, Zach, for that super chat. I guess to answer it more thoroughly, I believe that they will give it significantly more time. I think so. Meatball says, glad you're enjoying Marathon, big dog. 170 hours in 3 weeks for me. Bungie cooked. Damn. 170 hours. That's amazing, dude. Yeah, I agree. I think Bungie absolutely cooked. I fucking love it. Daddy T. I know it's a drum beaten to death, and I know the artist got her compensation, but I think the whole stolen art debacle was a fat blunder. Come on, man. Come on, man. You're right. That's really important to point out that that whole stolen art thing was pretty bad. But at the same time, I do think that I think there are some people that really care. They'll be like, this happened, I'm not buying the game. I think gamers, though, I think they talk more than they actually do. And here's the thing. It's important when you have a fiasco like that, how they react afterwards. And it sounds like Bungie did the right thing. They were upfront, like when it was discovered. And I don't think there was some kind of grand conspiracy within Bungie to steal. Maybe there was. I don't know. I didn't honestly follow it that much after everything happened. But to my understanding, they paid the artist. They credited the artist. The artist said they they were satisfied with everything. So I think it is a big deal what happened. I think it seems like to me the way they handled it was good. And I really don't think it's that much of a factor for it now. I don't think that the stolen art thing has anything to do with the declining player numbers. Thank you, Daddy T. Dios Damocles says Arc Raiders is casual depending on how you play. That's true. You can go in and ask, say you're friendly and maybe be friendly with other people. I've had plenty of those situations. You can go in and make it really hardcore. I think that's a very good point. Thank you for that super chat. Nova Phoenix, Colin Jaffe's Starfield stream Tuesday. I have no idea what the stream is Tuesday. I don't know if that's it. Colin hasn't said anything about what he wants to do. So, I don't know. Pair of Shoes says, I won $650 off of scratch-off tickets, so here's a 10 for you. I recommend a band for you, Dustin. Jaluka, Japanese band. You should watch the music video for Venom in Black. I'll put that in my, on my YouTube. What is it? Julu. Oh, this is an old band. Oh, wait, no. Hold on. There's two bands named Jaluka. Okay, I have that saved. Here, I want to answer this real quick before we get to this next super chat. Are you guys streaming Friday? Yes, I'm going to schedule that later tonight. We will be streaming Marathon, The Return of John Pork, Cryo Archive. Me, Chris, John Pork on Last Stand Media's YouTube channel. Look forward to it. Pair of Shoes. Also, follow up from Pair of Shoes. Also, you should try the anime Ergo Proxy, post-apocalyptic story with a cyberpunk kind of edge. It's dark, but also hopeful at the same time. That's a lot more of a commitment. I'll look at it. I think I've heard of that, Ergo Proxy. I think I've seen this. I've not watched it, but I've heard of this. Thank you, Pair of Shoes. Appreciate it. The reality is that Marathon is almost 1 month old now, and most people have already moved on. Buzz around games only lasts a few weeks nowadays, which is sad. Some of you guys asked me this, so I'm going to throw it to you guys, chat. How does Bungie save Marathon at this point? Is it possible to save Marathon? And maybe even a third layer to this. Does Marathon need to be saved? So I'll wait for your responses. Now, real quick, Fozzie jumping in here saying Ergo Proxy rocks. Now, it's no offense to you, Pair of Shoes. I don't know you very well. I see you pop here in chat. I know your name. Fozzie I've met in person. And if Fozzie says Ergo Proxy rocks, I'm checking it out. I trust this man. I trust this man implicitly as a fellow Evangelion lover. 2B collab will save Marathon. Maybe that's what Marathon needs. Titties. Ass. That's it. That's the ticket. More fan service in Marathon. I think you're onto something. Okay, let's see what some of you think. Marathon is perfect the way it is. All of these haters don't play video games. I think a lot of the haters maybe do play video games, but have never played Marathon. Or they only played for like 20 minutes at the Server Slam. I might be biased, but my hope is that they move on to Destiny 3, hopefully being able to keep Marathon going and keeping a higher, more sustained player base. Game-changing additions to the gameplay loop, promote it completely, making it seem like a fresh coat of paint for the gameplay, get the FPS group in again, and apply a solid hook. Hopefully just supporting the game, but in an area mode like Apex could go a long way. I think Marathon has enough to stick around for a while, and Sony should support the million players it has. I don't know if it has a million players. I think it has I don't know. I'm trying to remember what was the what were the sales? Didn't Alinea Analytics have something on it? Best case scenario, it's a Rainbow Six Siege slow burn. That could be possible. I think Marathon just stays the course. Keep listening to your committed players, improving your game, and roll out steady content to keep them engaged. There is a thing recently, like, aren't like the hardcore Arc Raiders fans not happy right now? Like, they just made a change recently. And also, hasn't there really not been very much new content added to Arc Raiders? It seems from an outsider of Arc Raiders right now, it kind of seems like they're dropping the ball. But again, I'm not plugged in, so that could be just me talking out of my ass. I checked out Turnstile due to Dusty Boy's newfound fan. Doll is my most listened song this month. Thanks, Dustin. No problem. Turnstile is great. We do have a super chat, a $20 super chat from John Rayfield. 60 hours in, and game is amazing. Got me completely hooked. I think the satisfaction now attitude of people these days hurts their ability to enjoy new things. Onboarding isn't great, but not that bad. That is worth pointing out. The onboarding on Marathon, I think, is pretty bad. It's bad for what it needs to do in order to get people in. But yeah, 60 hours, man. It is amazing. I am loving it as well. Turnstile winning a Grammy for metal is fucking absurd. That is true. I agree with that. Dude, this guy is on a heater about the art style. Like, I can't do anything for you. From an outsider perspective, Arc Raiders is let's all hold hands and help one another. Hey, don't shoot me, friend. That's not cool. And Marathon is I can see a player over there. Shoot that fucker. That is, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's talk about one other thing real quick about this. What do you guys think about I know that not everyone in the chat likes Marathon, and that's totally fine. Everyone has their own opinion. But what do you guys think about the fact that anyone online talking about Marathon is immediately harassed is a strong word because it's online. Just turn your screen off. The fact that Marathon, like someone like me, I am a very low tier personality in the industry. I have 16K followers on Twitter. I'm not saying I'm like the smallest of the small, but I'm definitely, guys, I'm D tier. Big D tier. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about everyone saying like, you're paid? You're being paid by Bungie. I find it really odd. I've not seen that so with you see this thrown around every once in a while, but I've never seen it this consistent for a game. It's weird people are on a religious mission. Burnt Peanut can't stream the game because his audience won't let him. I think that you're saying that because you're on a PlayStation podcast. That's true. The being on the PlayStation podcast thing has always been interesting of certain outsiders. Because I think a lot of people assume a PlayStation podcast is nothing but PlayStation glazing. And most of you guys here know, who have listened to Sacred Symbols, that is anyone in the industry harder on PlayStation than us? Like, legitimately. We get shit on constantly for being too hard on Sony. by our own listeners. I know you guys know that though. But I guess I can understand from someone who's like a passerby. Dustin, famous Sony Glazer. To be honest, I was thinking about this, guys. I cannot think of a like I know people that have taken sponsored deals for games, right? And to each their own. You know, I don't see I personally wouldn't do that, but I don't, again, to each their own. To each their own with doing a sponsored game deal. I've always seen that be very disclosed when there's a sponsored game deal. Now, there is the argument, too, that it's like, oh, well, people are saying nice things because they want to continue to keep access to Sony. I'm like, I don't know, man. I guess that could be true for some people. You say nice things because you want to stay good with PR. I could see that happening for certain influencers, certainly. Don't you have to also acknowledge sponsored deals when they happen? Yes. Yes. I will tell you guys, I've never done any kind of sponsored content with any kind of game company for this channel or for Last Stand or even my old company, Handsome Phantom. But guys, I got to be real with you. At PAX, like 7 or 8 years ago, I went to an Oculus event, which is now Meta, but they weren't Meta at the time. And I ate some food there. They provided food at the event. So I ate on Mark Zuckerberg's dime. Am I paid off? Am I now tainted by I ate a cannoli. I ate a cannoli at a Oculus Rift event. Shill. What can I say? I have eaten and drank at game events that was paid for by the publisher. When was the last time I did that? Probably was literally all of them probably like 7 years ago. I've never had a publisher, and guys, remember, D tier internet personality. I have never had like a company offer to fly me somewhere or pay for my stay or something like that. I don't think I would do that. I believe I did during PSX have a coffee from the PlayStation press booth. Shill. It's worth pointing out. And then we'll do some super chats. But in terms of like the ethics stuff, some of you know already, I have accepted game codes for this channel. And if that hurts your view of my criticism, then, I mean, that is what it is. None of them have ever included any kind of other deal with them. There's never any money exchanged at all. It's just, and most companies tell me no for game codes. With that said, I don't plan on ever, I don't want to say ever. As long as I'm at Last Stand and on Sacred Symbols, which don't take this as like Dustin's planning on leaving. There's no plans for me to leave at all. But I'm not planning on having any kind of PR relationship with Sony because of Sacred Symbols. So you'll never see me get, as long as I'm on Sacred Symbols, I will not get a game from Sony or request a game from Sony early. You and Last Stand should go to Summer Game Fest. I did go to Summer Game Fest last year. As from Last Stand. As a Last Stander. Oh, one last thing about the ethics stuff, and then I'm going to read these super chats. I may eventually have sponsors on my videos, like sponsor spots, but I will never do them for a video game publisher or developer. Would I do a video game peripheral, like a headset or a third-party controller, a mouse, something? Sure. But as far as something that would affect my criticism of games, I would not do it one like, this episode's sponsored by Crimson Desert. I wouldn't do that. Let's get into these super chats from Skull King. Shout out to Little Big Planet 4. That's what I want. It's a little random. But I got to be honest, guys. I never really liked Little Big Planet. I played Little Big Planet 2 and maybe one of the other ones. And I thought they were cool. They're a little too floaty. I don't like how they feel as platformers. So no Lilimo Games content creator? No. No. Or Game Pass. No Game Pass ads. Future Millionaire says, Dustin, please convince me not buy another PS5 Pro when I already own one. Even I'm having FOMO. Bro, you don't need you have a PS5 Pro. What do you need another PS5 Pro for? That's out of pocket. I mean, here's the thing, Future Millionaire. Your name isn't Current Millionaire. It's Future Millionaire. Have some financial restraint so you can become the future millionaire that you claim that you will be. And you don't need another PS5 Pro. There you go. There's my pep talk for you, Future Millionaire. Another one from Dios Damocles, who says, people link marathon colors to woke like hair. Maybe there is some of that. Maybe. Seems crazy. I think people maybe just think Bungie is a woke company, which, again, I hate woke. And I don't mean, like, I hate using the word woke and people being like, woke this, woke that, pro, against. It's annoying to me. I hate all that shit. But for people to understand what I'm saying, I think that people do think that about Bungie. And it is probably true. Guys, we have a visitor. Frisk is here. The dog has arrived. Guys, Frisk was so annoying last night. So, Frisk is crate trained. And at night, she sleeps in her crate. Why, you may ask? So many people let their dogs sleep in their bed. To each their own, I say. I don't let Frisk sleep in our bed because the times that I've taken naps with her in our bed, she's so fucking annoying that the quality of my sleep would go down so much if Frisk slept in our bed. Yeah, I'm talking about you. So Frisk doesn't sleep in our bed. Frisk last night, and this happened last week, we put her out, we go to bed. Within 10 or 15 minutes, she starts crying. So last night, I think Holly went down first. Let her out, sat with her on the couch for a few minutes, comes back up. She lays down. Frisk starts crying. I'm like, Okay, well, I'll go down this time. I go down and I let her out. So I'm like, fuck it. You don't have to sleep in your crate. Sleep in your bed in the living room. I go back upstairs. 20 minutes later, she's crying. She's outside our room this time and she runs in here. Then she goes on, she wants to be on her bed on the futon over here. I put her up there. I go back to bed. 20 minutes goes by. She's crying again. I take her. This is like, we're like talking like 4 a.m. at this point. So I grab her. I put her in her crate downstairs and I'm like, you gotta figure this out. You gotta figure this out. And she mostly stopped then. So what was your problem last night? We put you out. You had everything you needed. Nobody knows. White noise machine / earplugs OP combo. We have an air filter in our room that basically works like a white noise machine. And the other night when she did it last week, I put in my AirPods at one point because I was like, I can't fucking do this. We have a few more super chats. Zenron says, I have a daily reminder for waiting on a Little Big Planet 4 announcement. It has been going for 219 days now. I think I saw you follow up on this a second ago. Did you say you meant to say Destiny or something? She's prepping you, Dustin, for the baby. Listen, the difference is that a baby doesn't know any better. So I wouldn't be annoyed by a baby crying at night. Is it going to be annoying? Yes. But it's not like I haven't had Frisk for 7 years. She's licking my hand right now because she feels bad. Put on dog music to chill her out. I don't think she would care. Awesome Tatum asks, pumped for Saros yet? I am excited about that game. To me now, these days, unless it's one of the IPs I really, really like, I'm not like itching for things as much anymore. I was really excited for Resident Evil. It's a game that I was like counting down the days for. Saros, when it's here, I'm going to be excited. I'm going to play it and I'm probably going to love it. But yeah, it's going to be great. I'm sure it's going to be excellent. How many people are still here? Are people still watching this stream? 181 people here. Guys, I feel like these streams are growing every week. I really appreciate it. I have a lot of fun doing these. I look forward to it every week. So thank you for hanging out. I'm glad we can spend time together. Death Shoot with a $5 super chat says, notice how you said Arc Raiders is dropping the ball without any first-hand information. Just how people say Marathon is dying without any information. That's not 100% accurate, Death Shoot. Here's why. Steam Arc Raiders. I saw a tweet that a lot of reviews were coming in for like a lot new negative reviews on Arc Raiders. So I wasn't just saying I didn't have any first-hand information. I guess it's not first-hand information. Recent reviews are mostly positive instead of very positive. It's because the latest patch caused crashes. The other thing too, why I said it is that tweet is probably April Fool's joke. Could be. Could be. The other reason why I said it is that I think I follow Arc. Do I follow Arc Raiders on Twitter? Yeah, I follow Arc Raiders on Twitter. And I've seen like them talk about updates, but like, has there been a new level in Arc Raiders? New map condition, new arc threat, 2 new weapons. It just feels like since I stopped playing Arc Raiders like late last year, I've not seen any updates. It's like, hey, come check this out. And I believe I saw some streamer, it might have been Burnt Peanut, or someone that was like, I'm overplaying this game because for the most hardcore, they haven't added a lot. New map this month. Okay, so new map this month. You also said as an outsider looking in at Arc Raiders. Exactly. So sorry, Death Shoot. Thank you for the super chat. But I gotta push back a little bit. I just picked up the new Rosalina and Mario amiibo. Might be the best yet. I have the Mario one coming. I thought it was going to come today, but it didn't. Hoping that Gears of War E-Day is on PS5. I'm not a betting man, but I would bet. I would bet that it will be on PS5. How hyped are you for the PS5 price increase tomorrow? Dude, I can't wait, man. It's going to be great. We need to see Sony's stock price go up. That's how I think people think I sound like, or Sacred Symbols sounds like. How many months until Marathon gets a new map? Also, for context, I'm a fan of both. I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean, they added Outpost and they added Cryo, right? Because Outpost wasn't in the game at launch. Or it was, but you needed to be a high enough level. I would hope that there is a new map at the reset of the season. They're going to clip that. Go ahead, clip it. Anyone who knows me knows. And that's fine. Yo, what's up, dude? Lazy wizard. Hope you're well, bro. How did you get into Pinwheel after only playing Marathon for 21 minutes? I'm that good. I am that good at Marathon, boys. I was able to go from level 0 to whatever level you need to get into Outpost in one match. And then I got into Pinwheel on match 2. Easy as that. Outpost unlocked day 2. Okay. Dustin's going to gift us all pros before tomorrow. What a legend. I don't think so. Are you the real gamer? I may be the real gamer. Let me tell you who is the real gamer. Brad. Me, Brad, and Chris played Marathon last night. And Brad was fucking carrying Chris and I. Dude, Brad, in 2 different instances, he 1v3'd teams. I think in one situation, he might have done like a 1v6. Not quite 1v6, but he did 2 1v3s back to back. Because Chris and I were dead. Absolute legend. I don't know if I've successfully done a 1v3, but I've done many 1v2s. The 1v2, I saved Brad's ass a few times. Not as impressive. Nowhere near as impressive. First time catching a stream, dude. When are you going to be guest on Punching Up? Oh, and Brad is a beast. Probably not anytime soon. Holly, I have to take Holly to therapy in Pittsburgh on Thursday or on Tuesdays, and so I'm just not at home when they record. So that's the main thing. That's probably your level bringing down the matchmaking. I'm a higher level than Brad in Marathon. He's just. I would say Brad is really good. He's probably a little better than me most of the time. But last night, he was insane. He was playing better than Chris last night. He was playing better than Brandon. Hope you guys do another marathon stream like Colin. I'm not playing, but I really enjoyed you guys showing it off. Yes. Friday, 1 p.m., the return of John Pork. Me, Chris, John Pork, Cryo Archive. 1 p.m. Eastern, Last Stand Media. Look forward to it. I will be scheduling it soon. Are you guys below or above 30? I think I don't know. I think I'm above 30 at this point. Brad is probably just above. He's probably like 26, 27. I think I'm above 30 though. You got to get Brad on the marathon stream. I mean, it is a Friday. I thought people would want the return of John Pork. We need John Pork to show us how to do cryo. I mean, he's shown Chris. I need John Pork to carry me like a little baby. My favorite faction? I like the little bug. I think you underestimate the people's desire for Brad. That may be true. What works out well for me when me, Brad, and Brandon play is they are both like Brad, I would say, is either as good or slightly better than me. Brandon is, if he's not fucking around, he's better than me. But Brandon has a tendency to like Leroy Jenkins it, and that gets him into trouble. Brandon's also a loot goblin, which can get a little annoying. So when the three of us are playing, it balances out because I am a nerd and play solo, and I also watch YouTube videos about how to play the game. So I understand more about the game than Brandon and Brad do. So I'm able to help in that way. Not that I'm not getting any kills. I've had a clutch play or two in my time. Do you like playing Rook? I like playing Rook. I don't feel like I'm very good at it because I feel like with Rook, the real way to play Rook is to be upgraded enough that you get him to spawn with a shotgun. And I'm nowhere near able to do that. So yeah, you need to level up your Rook. So if I had a shotgun, I'd feel more confident about trying to fight people as Rook. But a few of my Rook runs that I've done at like Pinwheel, I've been able to like sneak in and get some scraps and leave. And they were successful runs, but playing Rook is a horror game. I literally get jump scared by players. I was playing Rook last night, and I was up in Pinwheel. I got some stuff, and I was running out of time, and I got to Final Exfil. And as I'm getting closer, there is a team at Final Exfil, and I'm like, fuck. So I hid around the corner, and when there was like 5 seconds left, I ran into the Exfil, and they didn't shoot me. The one guy in voice chat said, "Hello, friend." And I said, "Hello." And then we Exfilled. So, positive moment. Rook players, though, can be salty. Rook on rook violence makes people mad because they're like, oh, well, I'm also rook. I got in a fight with another rook at a pinwheel. I killed his ass. And very rarely do I hear anyone talking in Marathon. And this guy was like, you're fucking lucky I was fucking healing up because I would have fucking destroyed you. And I went, wham, keep crying. And I killed his ass. It's true. Have you seen Christy Noam's husband thing? I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know who that is. We made too big of a deal of proximity chat pre-release. Yeah, I agree. And I think it's because we were all Arc Raiders mindset. Dude, anytime someone kills me, I talk to them. And it's not raging. I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, you got me. Come on, man. Like, I'll do that when someone kills me. Or sometimes someone will kill me and I'm like, come here and give me a kiss. Come here. Come love me. You know, just a little play, a little something interesting. But I'm never like, you motherfucker. Though on Arc Raiders, as some of you guys remember, I was a little toxic in Arc Raiders. And I told a guy to go fuck his mother. It's true. That's true. I need to see you and Chris stream that again. It was fun. I'll keep repeating it. Marathon stream is happening Friday. Last Stand, 1 p.m. The proximity chat, I'm glad it's there. I just don't think it's as necessary as I thought it would be. Because Marathon, it does not encourage you to team up. It doesn't want you to team up. It wants you to fucking fight to the death. And I'm glad. I appreciate it for that. Will you at least look up how cryo works before playing? I would like to go to cryo one time Thursday night, I think. And maybe look up a little bit. I don't want to be the weakest link of the team, and I don't want to look like a fucking idiot on stream. But I would like to have it be an authentic experience for the viewers. Can I ask a Nintendo question? You can ask whatever you want. I may not answer it, but Nintendo question I more than likely will answer. Risky. What's the next big game release you're hyped for? Bond, Pragmata. Pragmata is the next game I'm really hyped for. Thoughts on Zelda remake? Yeah, so there was an announcement about, or not an announcement, a leak about a new Zelda Ocarina of Time remake. Hell yeah. My hope for an Ocarina of Time remake is actually, I would be thrilled if they did it like Final Fantasy VII remake, like remake the game. We've already had it remade. I've played Ocarina of Time a million times. I don't need a new coat of paint on it. Make it a new experience. I know some people will hate that. But I've seen Ocarina of Time enough times. I played it on Nintendo 64. I played it on Wii Virtual Console. I played it on 3DS. So give me a new Ocarina of Time experience. Are you or Holly planning on picking Tomodachi Life? I appreciate Tomodachi Life. I played the demo for a little bit. I think it's cool. It doesn't have enough gameplay for me. Like, even Animal Crossing has a little more gameplay. Again, I like games. I like all kinds of games. I don't need it to have gameplay, but like, Tomodachi Life is just a hair boring for me, for my interests. No chance that happening. I think it'll be a 3DS version in HD 4K with a few quality of life improvements. I think it'll be on Switch 1 as well, similar to the Galaxy 1 and 2 release. I would say that is probably more likely the case. I hope not, but it is probably more likely. Will you hack your Vita like you did for your 3DS? Would make an interesting video. I don't think it would make an interesting video for me. Because there's so many people out there doing that kind of stuff. Maybe at some point. I don't have a desire to right now. I have my Vita 1 and Vita 2 right here. I love this blue Vita, guys. The blue Vita. I mean, I know the Model 1 with the OLED is nicer, but you can't deny the Riz on this thing, dude. And look at that. Looks good. Tomodachi Life is kind of like The Sims. I could see that. I could see that. Let's see. I've been playing Screamer all week, and this game fucking rules. I know you don't care about racers. I just wanted to throw it out there. Interesting. Yeah, I don't really play very many racing games. Am I going to see the Mario movie? Yes. If you rewind to closer to the beginning of the game, you can hear my full thoughts about the Mario movie. Shout out to a game that I played a little bit last night called Recoin. The coin pusher Balatro roguelike game is really fun. Oh, another game you guys need to check out this month is Vampire. What is it called? It's not Vampire Survivors. Fuck. What is it called? Vampire Crawlers. Did I spoil? No. No spoilers in the Mario Galaxy section. Vampire Crawlers, guys. The demo. Play the demo on Steam. I played the demo for 20 minutes and I turned it off because I said, this is peak. And I'm just going to wait. Vampire Crawlers is awesome. And I'm very, very excited to play it. I sent an email requesting a review code for it. And I got 0 reply. So, oh well. Maybe I didn't contact the right person. Did I give up on Crimson Desert? No. I'm not giving up on Crimson Desert. I haven't played it as much this week. I'll be honest. I'm not really feeling that motivated to play it. But I think I need just a few days away. Can I spoil it? No, don't spoil anything in my chat. There's people here that still want to see it. No spoilers, please. Frisk is licking my hand again. Are you interested in Super Meat Boy 3D? So far, I'm enjoying it. I am interested in that. I know it didn't review super well, but I think it looks really fun. I would like to play it. I think it looks cool. All right, guys. I think it might be time to wrap this up. We went a whole hour 35 tonight. But I'm going to work on defining Duke. I'm going to play Marathon. And then record Sacred tomorrow. Did I try the kebab place outside of Super Potato? I didn't go to the main Super Potato. So that's it, guys. As always, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate hanging out with you guys for a nice hour and 35 minutes approximately. Thank you for your subs. Thank you for your super chats. Thank you for your memberships. Thank you for supporting Frisk. She needs the support. I'll see you on Friday for the Last Stand Cryo Archive stream with me, Chris, and John Pork. And yeah, that's it. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. We'll see you soon. Appreciate you all. How do I turn this off? Here we go. Perfect. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.